Hey guys, Coach Tyson from Oxstrength and welcome to the Advanced Training Technique series for the Sumo Deadlift. This is the second part of the video. We're going to be talking about the slack pulling. And if you haven't watched the first part, which is all about the grip, I recommend you watch that because it's going to have some carryover into this video as well. Natra bhane maybe some of the things could go out of context. Alright, so मैले अस्ति Instagram मा एउटा पोस्ट हालेको थिएँ, a bit controversial one maybe, that I said slack pull is a sumo deadlift, and that is how much weight this particular technique means to me, because if you have a good slack pull in the deadlift, then you're more likely gonna be executing the deadlift with a lot more success. And यसले चाहिँ अब सबै pillars-हरु पनि obviously balance त हुनुपर्छ, but I think slack pull is the most important one that you cannot miss whenever you are doing the sumo deadlift. So what is the slack, if you may ask? So normally deadlift गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ depending on the weight of the barbell, bar को पनि bend हुन्छ, तर more than that, when we're dealing with lighter weights, यस्तो ठ्याक्कै यो collar barbell र weight को बिचमा चाहिँ there's a little bit of a gap, हैन? So यसमा ठ्याक्क sound सुन्छ होला तपाईले. यो sound जुन सुन्छ नि, the click of the barbell पनि भन्छ कसैले, यो part मा चाहिँ there's a little bit of a slack भनौं न. Slack भन्नाले the bar is not going to be moving unless that first part has been finished. So if you can think of trying to push this wall, हामीले पहिला पनि एउटा example दिएको थियो when we were doing the complete sumo deadlift video. When you're trying to push the wall, you don't want to have empty space and then push against the wall, but first set up and then start pushing the wall. So हामीले deadlift गर्दाखेरि पनि we want to remove all the slack that there is on the barbell and then start to pull the weight. And eventually when your weights get heavier, when the weight gets heavier, let's say, I think on a regular power bar, I think after 220 or so, there starts to become like a significant bend in the barbell. So we'll have a video here of me doing weight more than 220. So त्यो तान्नु भन्दा अगाडि नै the bar is moving from its original position a little bit, and then I start to pull the weight. So eventually more and more advanced हुँदै गएपछि चाहिँ the slack pull becomes more and more important because of how much leverages you can use. And when you're pulling the slack, you're literally pulling the bar from a slightly higher position than from all the way down. So how do we do it? Ani how can we understand the slack pull better भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ basically हामीले first part of the video मा पनि ठ्याक्क grip position ko kura गरेको थियो, that the grip has a little bit of slack as well. So once we set हाम्रो fingertip grip, we're already in a more favorable position than if you were to do like a full grip, हैन? Fingertip हुन्छ त्यति भयो. तर when we're trying to pull the barbell, we want to actively pull the bar up first. Does it make sense? So when we're actively trying to pull the bar up, the slack is removed. And if there's more weight on the barbell, without the weight leaving the floor, the barbell is pretty much going to be around this point, but the weight's still basically going to be on the floor. So यो positionलाई चाहिँ हामीले slack pull भन्न सक्छौं. And slack pull गरेपछि चाहिँ you are in a more primed position because you've already pulled the bar up, but since there's resistance going the other direction, we are in a proper wedged position. And then from there, all we want to do is stand up tall, which is going to be another part of the video, the execution part भनौं न. So slack pull गर्दाखेरि you want to loose your body up. Glute engagement, or we'll talk more about in another video. But when you're trying to pull the slack up, the harder we pull the barbell, we want to pull the bar as hard, but we don't want to like lift the barbell off the floor. Obviously, when the weight's more, then we can demonstrate it better. So we want to basically pull the bar up as high as we can, and then if there's bend in the barbell, we want to take out all the bend from the barbell and then wedge into our position and then start to pull. So the first को जुन part हुन्छ नि हो त्यसलाई चाहिँ हामीले slack pull भन्छ के. So त्यो भइसकेपछि चाहिँ since अब हामीले slack pull नगरी तान्यो भने चाहिँ maybe we could pull from like a unfavorable position here, or maybe try to sit back too much like that. So यो हुनुपर्छ चाहिँ slack pull ले बचाउँछ, because we're actually lifting the weight up, but it's not coming off because of the opposite force. So pull it really hard and then wedge into the barbell, and then you want to stand up. So generally अब हामीले slack pull गर्दाखेरि few exercisesहरू चाहिँ recommend गर्छ so that you can improve your slack pull position and then set yourself up in a better position. And one of the, I think, most common exercise, and most of the people are doing it, but then maybe they're not focusing why it's in the program, and it's the paused sumo deadlift. So generally मैले चाहिँ slack pull सिकाउनुलाई नै paused deadlift सुरुमा चाहिँ initiate गर्छु, because if you're lifting heavy enough weight, you cannot pause the barbell in an unfavorable position. So slack pull गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ it's a similar feeling, तर obviously slack pull मा चाहिँ the bar needs to be on the floor, तर pause गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ we're a bit higher from the ground. So हामीले यतिकै अब slack pull नगरिकन pause गर्यो भने यहाँनिर रोकिन्छ नि त. So this is the wrong way to do the pause deadlift, and pause deadlift गर्दा पनि it makes it really difficult, हैन? So what we're going to do is pull the slack first and then wedge into this position. So your position मा चाहिँ it should be a strong enough position for you so that you can hold even your top end strength. So let's say if my max is 200 kgs, मैले pause deadlift पनि 180 190 चाहिँ गर्नु सक्नुपर्छ, because that's a good position. But if your pause is like 150 and your max is over 200, that means like your slack pull isn't perfect. So I think that's one of the key indicators to see if you're doing the slack pull correctly, because if you're in an ideal position, like how the deadlift is actually meant to be, त्यो गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ pause deadlift गर्दाखेरि पनि you should be able to lift a certain weight. तर अब pause राम्रो भन्दैमा, it's not supposed to be done every single time when you're doing like a sumo deadlift, because again it changes the mechanics of the deadlift a bit more. Because generally for myself, what I notice is when I'm trying to do the pause deadlift, I'm not going to the deadlift with full intent, because I know I have to pause it midway. So मैले 80-90% पावरमा मात्रै तानिरहेको हुन्छु, अनि pause deadlift गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ I know I have to stop the weight. So त्यो भएर चाहिँ मैले maybe I might not be pulling with all my intent, अनि deadlift गर्दाखेरि you gotta rip the bar off the floor like you actually mean it हुन्छ नि. So त्यो गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ pause deadlift ले चाहिँ maybe त्यो एउटा pattern चाहिँ बिगार्छ. So we don't want to have pause deadlift in our training every single time just because it's a good exercise. And अर्को argument about the pause deadlift is like coaches, they want their athletes to pause the barbell as low as they can, and eventually higher pause गर्नेहरुलाई अलिकति maybe that's not the way to do it भन्छ, and that's an argument to be made. तर pause को main agenda भनेको चाहिँ is if it's for you to understand the slack, then you want to go as low to the ground as possible and have your proper position set, basically meaning side बाट हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ over your rear delt. So I think slack pull and pause deadlift go hand in hand. तर pause deadlift isn't always necessary to improve your deadlift, but maybe to improve your slack a little bit. अनि slack बिना चाहिँ deadlift basically shouldn't be done. And like मैले अघि नै चाहिँ like more advanced हुँदै गएपछि slack is more and more useful भनेको थिएँ, because we can basically have a higher pulling position for the deadlift, almost like doing a block pull, हैन? That's with advanced. But obviously if you're still like a beginner or like intermediate, the slack pull is important just to make sure that you're moving your energy into the right places, and your execution, you're not misgrooving, you're not rotating, and your breathing and bracing is perfect. Slack pull is very good, and eventually when you're becoming a more and more advanced level athlete, then slack pull becomes more and more important. So yeah, slack pull is the sumo deadlift. Without slack pull, I think sumo deadlift is pretty much I don't think there's any elite level lifter or even advanced level lifter who does not think about the slack pull when they're doing the sumo deadlift. So yeah, slack pull is very important. Thank you for watching this part. Next part we'll be talking about hip position, back position, weaknesses, हामीले fix गर्ने कसरी सिक्छौं. And yeah, thank you for watching. If you want early access to these videos, you could buy any one of our templates, and then we could have you on our Facebook group, and you could watch these videos before they air on YouTube. And we can also help you with some of the queries that you might have in the Facebook group as well. And if you want one-on-one coaching with myself, Ojas, Neha, Moidai, any one of us, the links are all in the description down below, and I will see you in the next one.